talking with Ty. I was like, welcome to Finding Our Voice. I'm Todd Carter.
I'm
That's
Mikey.
it.
I'm Kayla.
And we are here today to discuss what was the topic? Cheating?
Cheating,
Yes
yes
or
or
no?
no?
Yeah, cheating, yes or no. Okay. All right. So let's get started, girls.
Who's gonna start it off?
I
So,
will.
okay. Go ahead, Kayla.
I don't really like cheating. I don't like that.
I
Don't
know
cheat
that's
on me. Don't lie to me because I felt like cheating. You got to build up to that. That means that that you were catching feelings for this person. You knew that you wanted more with them, but instead of avoiding it, you decided to just go through with it. Now you want to talk about it's a mistake. It's not a mistake. That was planned. It was very much planned. You set the date, you set the time, you told her where to meet you, you invited her in, she invited you in. Either way, you went in. And I don't think it's a mistake. So for me, it's a no.
Yeah, it's a choice.
I agree.
So,
Uh,
yeah.
um, for me, I'll say, I had different feelings on cheating. Um, Everybody knows I was raised by my father. My father was a womanizer, and so until I went through my healing and being a better version of myself, my concept of it was if a man is gonna cheat on me, I'm gonna need him to cheat on me like my father does because my father would cheat and it don't blow up in her face. She don't know. She's
Yeah.
none the wiser. She's dumb and
Mhm.
blissful and happy. So if you gonna cheat on me, I want you to cheat on me like my father cheats on women, which was a warped view of cheating. But as a
Right.
little girl, those were the seeds that were planted like unintentionally. While me, with me watching him have a girlfriend and meeting someone else, and he'd be like, "Baby, I messed up," and you know what I mean, like
Mhm.
watching all of that, it just made. And then my godfathers, because I don't have any godmothers, my godfathers are my father's best friends. They've been best friends since 15 till my father passed at 63. So they would all come together in town. My godfather has a wife, and she's like the second from the top in the state. So she make over $200,000 a year. Works in Sacramento, so she bought a house in Sacramento, stays there during the week, comes home on the weekend. So they all come together. They have their little, where they doing their thing, but it never blows up in anybody's face. So my thing was, if I'm gonna be cheated on, I need it to be like that. But now
Right.
that I've gone through my healing and I'm a better version of myself, it's a total no for me.
Absolutely.
Total
So what
no.
I heard you say was if you just feel like if someone's going to do it, they have to do it in decency. And I do believe
Be
that. I mean,
discreet about it. Act like you
yeah,
respect me enough that you don't want me to find out. Be sneaky.
right. Because there are levels to it. Like, I
Right.
think if you're going to do something, you shouldn't make it where the other person, you know, so I'm not a cheater, but
Me neither.
but if I was, I would be, like if a man was trying, and I shouldn't say this, but hey, that ain't even what I think, so it doesn't matter. But I would be very good at it, and what I mean by that is he would know, hey, I have a man or a husband or whatever it is, whomever I'm cheating on, and he would know not to call me. It would be like,
It'd
okay,
be
when I
rules and
want,
regulations.
yeah, exactly, it'll be like, don't text my phone, don't call me. When I want to get in touch with you, I'll let you know.
And
It will
that's
be
it.
one of those things where he would know that, hey, I'm with my family and I'm with my man, and you better not text me at 10 o'clock at night for
But
what? I'm at home.
truthfully, it's easier for us as women to cheat than it is for men because
Yeah, I
men
believe that.
men are usually cool with that, and men are cool with not having to take on the responsibilities of being your man and doing all the man things. They cool with just getting to put their hand in the cookie jar, so they not gonna wrestle the boat. Most of the time women are the ones, when you the side piece, you cool for a minute till you start catching feelings. Now you want to be number
Hmm.
one. Now you threatening to call his wife. Now you threatening to call his girlfriend. You going through his phone, sending her text messages. Men don't do that. Side men don't
Mm-mm.
do that. They're
Mm-mm.
cool with being side men. So it's easier for us to cheat
Right.
anyway as women, because just the way men are.
For me,
Hmm.
I think I'm not a cheater, but I'm a cheat backer. Like,
Ooh.
Not to get my get back. He would get my get back.
I'm gonna get it back. I
See,
ain't
I'm
got
not like that.
the
Two wrongs
the
don't make a
coolest
right.
way to know if I'm gonna
Mm-mm.
cheat back is if you tell me or I find out and I just say, okay, baby. If I just say that, just know ain't nothing good
See,
coming
I'm
from
not a
that. Okay.
cheater. I'm not a
And see
cheater.
how I feel about that is I am not going to use my body to get back at you.
Cause
Well,
you don't
see now
care. They don't
there
care.
are certain things that goes into that. You know, for me, I'm not gonna cheat just with random people. When I cheat, I intend for us to break up after you find out about it. And I'm gonna make sure that
Absolutely.
you find out about it. It's not gonna be me cheating with some random. No, this is the new man that I'm about to I'm gonna have. And
I can't with you,
you gonna
Kayla.
find out about it. And on
I
top
can't
of that, we
either.
breaking up
I can't with
also.
you, Kayla. She said this gonna be the new man. This with intention, baby. I cheat with intention.
Let
Now
me
she
show you
cheats
how
with
to do it because
intention.
you didn't do that right.
I can't. No, I just
Because at that point,
me.
I feel like one, but it takes a lot for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna cheat back. Like
Let me get my water, y'all. I'm sorry. Go
if
ahead, Dawn.
you are constantly cheating on me, or it was in a way that was super disrespectful, then that's when I'm gonna do it. Now, other than that, I'm pretty good. I'll leave.
See, I don't know. I'm just not a cheater at all. So once I find out, my whole thing is I can't be in a relationship without trust. So once you break the trust, there's no getting that back, because now I don't trust anything you say moving forward. I don't know how you're going to
Right.
rebuild that. So there's no point for us to be together. So I'm just going to leave it alone. And I've tried to get back with the cheater. Like I used to always be like, I'll never, I'll
Yeah.
never, I'll never. And then we always meet that one that make us do all the I'll nevers. Okay. So I did,
Right.
and I know from experience that I can't be with a cheater, because for one, I don't trust you. And for two, I feel like when you get back with someone who cheated on you, you're giving them the okay to keep doing it, because they're gonna
Right.
feel like all I gotta do is say or do whatever and she's gonna forgive me. So no, it's a no. It's a hard no, because I can't
Right.
trust you, and you're gonna keep cheating on me.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. And
Yeah.
especially if you have done some healing, you're just not going to put up with anything like that. Now, say
I'm
if you
not.
haven't, then you'll probably be okay with it because sometimes you're just so in love and you're just like you wanna, I always try to look for the best in people. So it's like you really want to, but I've learned that they really show if a person show you who they are, go ahead and believe them the
Believe
first
them.
time
Hmm.
because I don't have to keep making that same mistake. And I know I have in the past, like I want to see the best in
Guilty.
a person, but now I know that when they show me, I'm going to believe you.
Me too. What
And
about those
it,
situations where you have an intuition, like that gut feeling, your stomach doesn't feel right, that you think he's
mhm,
doing something, but you don't have no concrete proof?
right,
I pretty much I wait until there's proof. I just start racking up the points in my head that is
mhm,
like, okay, okay, you noticed that, girl? Yeah, I noticed it. All
Right.
right. And then once all of that comes, and then I finally have that concrete proof, when I approach you with it, I'm gonna have facts,
I got a
moments where
whole
I
docket,
know
okay? I'm
it's
flipping
look,
pages
I
like,
didn't
and
created
on
your
September
whole
13th,
file like I was taking you to
2012,
court.
I'm telling you, like a docket. On September 12th, 2012, you did this, and you said this at 4:30. Let me flip the page, because over here, hmm.
And then you sent this text at 5:42 p.m. talking about, hey baby, I can't make it tonight. I had something to
Hmm.
do with the homies. You ain't
And
had
then let
nothing
me
to do
go
with the
here
homies.
because then I got a message on my DM on that same date that this girl said she was out with you. Now I've put two and two together. See, because you know what's done in the dark always come to the light, and that's
And then
true.
Absolutely.
and then you
That is so
said that
true.
that was your cousin,
Or
you know, your play
your play
cousin or whatever.
sister.
But your mama don't even know who she is, honey. She don't even know her.
I was thinking like
Are you for
I
real?
haven't had an experience like that. I probably
No,
thought something
no.
wasn't
I'll
right,
be
but I'm
done
just such a
real soon.
person whereas, if something seems off with me or whatever, then I'll say to myself, I'll just be like, okay, this ain't gonna work out. I'll just say, okay, you're gonna have to go ahead and break up with him. Like this is not working for me. And so what I'll do is I'll address it with the person. I won't. If now, if I'm thinking that you're just downright cheating or something like that, then that's just something different. But if I'm kind of thinking like, what, that was a little bit strange. I just happened to be, just say I'm out, and then I call you, and I'm just like, okay, hey, I'm out, and I'm headed home because I live far, and and I'm just trying to make sure that I don't get all the way to my side of town, which is rural. And then, and just say you'll be like something like, oh, well, I'm just at home chilling or whatever. And it's kind of like, okay, if you're not busy, why you don't want me to come by? So if I got little inklings like that or something like that, then I'll kind of put them in the back and I'll just say, oh, okay, let me just see if he acts. So if he start to have
Goodbye. Get up out
repeat
of here. No, because you're always
behavior,
in my
then
damn
I'll know
video.
something's up. But I'm never gonna go looking for it. It just depends on what type of relationship
Why?
that we're
But you keep
having.
coming back.
I'm just not the one who go look for stuff. I just feel like if they're doing it, I'll find out. But I'm very observant. I listen to backgrounds when we're talking. I notice it when you
Okay, well
change
then,
your
then I'll be
patterns.
back.
So if
And I'm trying to.
always um see me on certain days or whatever, I'm going to be paying attention to that. Or if you don't have time
No,
when
I'm
I
not taking
suggest
no
to go
cuts.
out,
That's fine.
it's just little things like that I
Can I
may
listen?
take
I'm supposed to
notice
be in the
to, and
conversation.
then I'll be making a decision, about it or whatever. And then just how you move with me. But me personally, I just don't tolerate it. If I think it's something crazy, I go ahead and nip it in the bud because I don't have time to waste my time with nobody because I'm genuine. So I just
And
don't want to
honestly,
deal
the
with fake
thing
people.
about men cheating is that they don't cheat the right way. Like you change your whole behavior
That's because
and
they
then
don't
be like,
care.
"Well, I don't know how she found out, bro.
That's
She
because
was
they don't care. They don't
I
And
don't
they
know
care.
get
how."
cocky.
Then they
They
hit
I
don't
you
always
with
say
the,
care.
they get
"Oh,
cocky.
why was you going through my phone in the first place?" Or, "Oh, why was you on that side?" They try and flip it, and it's like, no. If you gonna cheat, keep that same habit that you've always had. If you don't want to get caught, but
That's
if you
because they
don't
don't
care,
care.
and then some dudes try and follow in their daddy footsteps, but don't know what they doing. They don't
Right.
know how to not get caught.
That's because they daddy cared. Like
Well, sometimes I
that's because
think
they daddy cared. He didn't want to get
No,
caught. If you
some of
don't
these
want to
dudes is
get
just
caught,
stupid. They just,
well,
you
some of them are, but a lot of them do
it
it because
depends
they
on how
don't
much they
care
like you.
about you finding
Eh,
out. Some of them might want you
yeah.
to find out because they want the relationship to end. Like there's lots
Right.
of different reasons why they get caught because most of them try not to. There are some that just, like you said, are dumb and they couldn't find their way out of a paper bag. Then you have the
Right.
ones who want you to find out because they don't want to be the bad guy and have to leave or say whatever to you, and they know if you find out you gonna leave. Then you have the ones who get sloppy because they get too
Hmm.
comfortable.
Right.
and then plus on top of that, now the ones that cheat because they don't want to hurt your feelings and they just want you to break up with them. My thing is this: you breaking up with me would hurt me a whole lot less
Right.
than
Just
you
tell me.
deciding to
Then you
cheat.
breaking
Want
my
me to
heart.
find out about it so I can break up with you. And then
Right.
half of the time, as women, we don't even leave. We just try and figure out what happened, like what at first, we gonna leave. At first it's gonna be like, you know what, forget him. I ain't never gonna touch him again. He can never come back. And then, of course, we all know we're going to take them back at some point. And it's just like, if you don't want to be with me, then just say that. I hate a man that wants to stay with you, that doesn't want you but stays with you because they don't want nobody else to have you.
It's so many of
Right.
them, girl. So many of them.
And it's
See, and
annoying.
I'm like this. You're not gonna have to wonder about me because I try to do well, not try. I deal with people the way that I want them to deal with me. And what I mean by that is if I'm not feeling you anymore, trust me, I'm going to let you know. Because if it's not working out for me, I'm going to go ahead. First, I'm going to have a little conversation with you. And I'm just going to, point out to you what it is that's not working for me and just see whether or not you're willing to change the behavior. And if I see that you're
Yeah.
not willing to change the behavior, by that second time, that I decide I may be thinking that I'm gonna say something to you, and I'll just be like, you know what, it ain't even worth it because if
I'm out of
if I
there.
notice that you're doing the same thing, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead because at this particular point, I feel like I don't owe you anything because you know exactly what it is that you're doing. So I'm just going to politely remove myself from it. But in that, now I have also learned that, everybody has something that we all are going through and we respond to things differently. So all because you don't act the way that I want you to act, or what I had to learn is that sometimes my expectations of people is really high. I'm not gonna lie. And so I'm trying to not expect so much out of people because I guess I be wanting people to move the way I move and not everybody do that. And what I mean by that is I'm just honest. I'm gonna give you honestly me. And it don't even have to be a male relationship. It could be a female relationship. Who I am is what you're gonna get. If I'm feeling you, you're gonna know if I like you, if I really, if you're really a good friend of mine, and you're gonna know because I'm gonna love you in such a way that you know that I appreciate our friendship, whatever. Now, if I don't,
You
you're
gonna
not gonna
know.
have to worry about that because I'm gonna let you know.
You
I'm
gonna
gonna
know.
I'm gonna still treat you nice, but you're gonna know that it ain't going no further and you're gonna know your place. So I always say that sometimes you have to instead of just cutting off people, because I'm good at cutting you off, I'm learning to reposition people. You don't have to get mad at them because they don't want the same thing that you want. It's like you have to understand that they have a right to want what it is that they want. And I know that we all bring something different to the table in terms of personality, our core values and things that we do. And not everybody can deal with it. And I know I always say this, I have a big personality and I do have a one that it take a little getting used to. so, so with that being said, I understand that I can be tough in some situations on things. So I can understand how someone could like me, but still be like a little, oh, okay.
Right.
So just letting
Me
y'all.
personally, I am the same way. You don't know, especially in a relationship, you don't know that I care about you. You're gonna know that nah, she ain't cheating, she not doing nothing. Why? Because I
Mhm.
make sure that you know. I don't care if I got to tell you 1,000 times a day. You gonna know, and my actions are gonna follow up with it. So I just feel like if I'm being genuine, that person should be genuine too.
Yeah, but they're not.
And
They don't always do that.
and if you're not, then I feel like I mentally leave a relationship first.
Oh yes, I
I'm
will
Most
do
of
that.
us
Yeah.
do. Look, most
I'm
of
the
us
type of
do.
person that'll sit there and I let things build up. I'll
Hmm.
tell you, hey, I don't like that, but if you keep doing it, I'm counting it as chucking it up as me slowly backing up. If I tell you I don't like something and you don't care to fix it, that's another thing that's slowly making me back up.
I want to
And then once
Right.
piggyback
I
off
feel
of that.
mentally ready to leave you and I know I'm not coming back to you and you done so much throughout the relationship to where I know 100% this isn't something I
Right.
want to come back to, then that's when I'm gonna break up with you. And then they're sitting there like, no, baby, we can work this out. See, I was trying to work it out, but you wasn't catching on to the hints. So at
Right.
this point, I'm just done.
So I want to
I'm more of
piggyback
a just
off of. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I want to piggyback off of what both of you said. Like, if I tell you something bothers me and you don't fix it, now what I've learned in my dealings with, men and people, period, if somebody cares about you or they love you, then if you tell them something is bothering you or something hurts you, then they should at
They're gonna
least
be
make some
pissed.
kind of effort to try to change it. So if I tell you
Mm-hmm.
this hurt me and this bothers me and you continue to do it, either you're not understanding or you don't care. But either way, I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
continue to deal with that. Because if you care about me
Right.
and you love me and I say this is hurting me or bothering me, and you're not even making any kind of effort to change it. Like Rome wasn't built in a day, so I'm not expecting you to snap your fingers and you're a totally different person, but I'm going to need to see some kind of effort that you're trying to
Right.
change that action because I would do the same for you. If you came to me and said, "You know
Mm-hmm.
what, it really hurts me when you do or say this," I'm going to make a conscious effort to try to not do or say that because I love you and I don't want to hurt you. So if you don't do that, then I can't deal with you.
Right.
Yeah. And
And
then
then I
there's
have
some
like
men
this
that make
loyalty.
excuses for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like that. Don't make excuses for something that I say that I don't like. I don't,
Mm-hmm.
it's like if I tell you, hey, I really don't like the fact that such and such said this. It really bothered me. It made me uncomfortable. And you try and make excuses
Like, is this
for it.
like his people? You guys were out with his people and you felt uncomfortable with something that one of his people said?
Yeah, like
Okay.
if
I'm
I'm
trying to
telling
get the
you,
context.
yeah, like if I'm telling you, like I don't really like this and you're not understanding about that, we can have a conversation about it. Don't get me wrong. If
Mm-hmm.
you feel a certain way, great. If you don't, great. But I want it to be to where you are at least trying to understand why it made me uncomfortable. You're at least trying to figure out a way to fix that situation. So then that way it's just I want to see the effort that you're putting in.
Right.
Like if I'm telling you, hey babe, you were supposed to do dishes last night and you didn't do it, and you purposely don't do the dishes tonight because you know that it irritated me yesterday. Now that's a problem for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's being
Like,
petty. That's being
why are
petty.
you
That's pettiness.
leave me alone?
I
Because now
don't care
you
about
trying to
little
make
stuff
me
like
mad.
that. Little stuff like that. I'm okay. I've learned
That
not
don't
to
bother me
to
either.
sweat to sweat the small things. I'm
Right.
more about the bigger things because one thing that I am, and that's even with my girlfriends and things like that. I'm a loyal person, so I expect for a person to have that same that I have, and I've found, or I have ran into people who just don't move that way. So I always say to people, I say if the person only knew, but then the people that get me. You know what I'm saying? But I be thinking to myself, like, if you only knew that I'm that person that you can call 3 o'clock in the morning, because if I fool with you, I fool with you, which
Right.
means that if you need me, I'm going to come, and also I'm not one of those people who need our relationship to be based on you doing things for me. It's let me tell y'all a little story. So last week I went by and I was visiting one of my cousins, because his dad had recently passed, and he had a good life because he lived to be 89, so that's a good life. And I went over to see him, and so later on when I got back home, he always makes sure I've been and got back home. He'll text me just to make sure, because we're like 45 minutes away. And so he said, you know what, it felt so good to um, enjoy somebody's company that didn't want anything from me. And I'm like, what is he talking about? Because sometimes he do tell me about women and stuff. And so I'm thinking, he was like, no, I'm talking about you. Because he was just letting me know in that moment that it don't even matter if your cousin. When sometimes people have that usury spirit about them or whatever, it don't matter who they're trying to use. It could be a relative, a friend, a relationship. When you're just a person that's always looking, or you go around because you're looking for something, people know that. People know when you're genuine, and people know when you're full of it. And so one of the things that when he said that to me, it just lets
I
me
done
know
seen.
that
Go
hmm,
ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
it
she
just
was.
lets me know that he was
I
just
done
happy
seen
that
all on the
I guess I
Facebook. They
wasn't
just
coming
all around
around,
town.
looking for something. So
Huh?
Yeah,
that's
I hate those friends that call you. months later talking about some, hey girl, just checking to see
And they was
how
going
you
all
was
around,
doing,
that
and
little
then
globe. They didn't
followed
went to
up
see it as the
with
moon and as the
something that
football.
they are asking you for. Like that
Right.
is super
He don't want to
annoying
come
because you
home.
didn't care enough to see how I
Long as
was doing
Jakaya let
last
him
month,
stay,
the
he's
month
going
before
to.
that. You just asking me how I'm doing,
And
and
he
then
ain't
you
got to
don't
be there
even
with
want
his
to
sister.
know how I'm doing for real. You just want to
Mhm.
hurry up and get to the point that you can ask me for something.
Right.
And
Exactly.
and then I don't like the people that you like when you're sitting there and you're trying to be a genuine friend. I
Hmm.
don't like the people that don't understand what you're doing. Like I put my friends into categories. There's certain friends that I call for certain things. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
call. I don't have one set of friend that I expect to be every type of friend for me. Like
Right.
I have friends that I talk to about God, and those are the
Hmm.
friends that I only talk to about God. I
Hmm.
have friends that I'll
Hmm.
talk to about anything but God. And then I'll have the friends that, we laugh and talk about kids and things like that. I put friends in certain categories. So when you start asking me questions like, oh, well, you don't talk to me about this, but you talk to such and such, and I explain to you, like, the delivery that you give in certain situations, I don't really like. So I don't come to you about those things. I go to such and such about those things because
Right.
they might be a little bit more sensitive to the situation. They might
Hmm.
know about the situation because they've been through it. And I feel like
Hmm.
not enough people puts their friends in categories. There's just
I do
not
too.
everybody can be everything all at once.
I agree.
Right. Absolutely. Now I do have one of my friends. Well, I have several really good friends, but I do have one friend that just have been my friend. It's a male. Don't want anything from me. Never have. Just always willing to help, always asking, is it anything that I need or whatever. And I mean, that's just a really good friend to me. And I value the friendship that we have, because it's just so genuine. And when I say that, um, I know my friend care about me, and like hands down, when you are able to be friends with, just like my cousin said, and you know that the person is don't want anything from you, don't have no motive, have never said nothing slick. Because sometimes I'm friends with guys sometimes, and trust me, guys are always waiting for that moment where they can say something slick to you just to let you know, hey girl, I like you. And with this particular friend, never. So sometimes you have to just think about, like even when they're still your good friends, sometimes your good friend will still have a little bit of a motive, like, you know what, I'm really her friend, but every now and then I always tell one of my friends, I was like, you like me every now and then, which is kind of confused me because sometimes you're not thinking about me, but then every now and then you just pop up and let me know you like me a little bit, little stuff like that. I got off. Sorry.
He like, oh, you didn't bite with the last time I let you know? All right, cool. I'm gonna just let you be
Yeah.
by
And I
yourself
be
for a
like,
minute. We're gonna try this again another time.
and
You
I
know,
always say, this weird. I was like, so you like me now? This weird.
my
But
dad
I mean,
used
they
to
like me.
always say, my
And
dad
what?
used to always say that a man
I'm gonna
that
cut
is a
it out.
woman's friend, like, is just your friend until he can get him some. Like, he's just waiting for that opportunity. Friends are just, he said, a male and a woman that are friends is just someone you haven't slept with yet.
Right, but I do still believe that you can have a friend that you never crossed the line with,
You
and they
can.
can just and they can really
It's
be your friend,
possible. I've
and
had a
they can
few of
have.
them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I have
Hmm.
some friends that care so much about me. It's ridiculous. And I always think about one of my friends, Jonathan. He is so sweet. I've been knowing Jonathan probably about like over 25 years. And Jonathan is like my homeboy, And so when people see us, when we, every time he comes in town, he's gonna always hit me up and we're gonna go out. And so people ask him like, why you ain't like her? They'll be like, why y'all ain't like each other? Because we so cool. And we're just kind of like, well, he always tells the story like, well, I did, but I always, but you know what? He was such a good friend to me. And he was so silly until I just feel like, well, I messed that up, like trying to like each other. And
And
so
some
we
people are
But
just better
sometimes
as
you can't
friends.
help it. That sometimes you can't help it. Like I had a friend like that. We were friends for like 6 or 7 years. Never crossed the line. Like he had a
hmm
girl, I had a dude, and he
yeah,
talked
we
to me
talk about
about
stuff like
his
that.
girl sometimes. I talked to him about my dude. We smoke. He used to live across the street from my mom. So when I go visit my mom, he'd come outside, he'd hold up a blunt like, "You smoking?" And I'd be like, "Yep, I'd have one too." So we'd match one. But
Good
then after
dog.
like
You
right, but
didn't
after
steal it.
7 years, out of nowhere, he's like, "You know what? I just can't be your friend no more." And I was like, "Wait, why?" We were such good friends. I'm like, "Wait,
Yeah.
why?" He's like, "Cause I like you, and I just can't be in this capacity anymore." So sometimes they could be a friend and still like you and still not cross the line, but
And
if
I
given
believe
if
that. I
given the
believe that.
opportunity, if given the opportunity, they would take it.
Yeah, because I
I
guarantee
believe
you, if you
that.
would have been like, well, then, well, we could try, he would have been like, well, all right.
Exactly. If given the opportunity, they will take it, but they respect you enough to where they not on you and like, like a hound. But if given the opportunity, they would take it. That's a man. But they're your
I
friend
do
still.
have a friend that we did go there at some point just to see. And it was the first friendship that really just, once we realized that wasn't it, it just went back to the way that it was. He be giving me advice on other dudes. I give him advice on
Right.
other females. Sometimes you can cross that line and
Hmm.
just be like, this ain't it. This ain't for me.
Right.
It ain't for you. We know it's not for each other. We just gonna go ahead and
And keep
go
it
our
the way it
separate ways
was.
and keep
Right.
it as a
hmm
friend. And
Hmm.
that I can respect. But don't
Right.
come in trying to be my friend knowing that you want something. I don't like
That's
when
what a
you
lot of
lie.
them do. That's what a lot of
Right.
And
them
then I
do.
hate the dudes that see that I have a business and they be like, "Oh, hi," or they use your business to get into the door. Like, "Oh, I was just so where you stay? Like, where are you from,
What's wrong with
sir? What
that?
does that have to do?"
He's just trying to get to know you. Curious. That's his way of, shooting his shot.
And I'm gonna need you
Men
to not, because
men
I
get
know that
re-
you saw
men
that
get
man
rejected
on
a
my
lot.
page.
Men get
I know
rejected a
you
lot.
seen it.
I don't like that now. I don't like how because my all my profile pictures on all my personal social medias is me and my king. So why are you in my inbox?
Right.
It
Right.
says it says in a relationship with him. It's me and him on the picture. Why are you then still in my inbox, sir? I don't
And
get
then
it.
Right.
the ones that you tell, no, I got a man. They'll be like, oh, well, we could just be friends. I
No, I
know
don't
what you
need a
want.
friend.
It's
I don't
not,
need a
we're not
friend.
Right.
trying to be friends. Yeah.
Like
You were
I don't
just
need
trying
any
to get with me.
friends.
And then now when I said no, now you want to be my friend.
Like literally
No.
5 minutes later, you talk about
Right.
we could just be friends. I just wanted to get to know.
Well, can
You
I be
don't
your
want to be
friend?
my
You know what I
friend.
used to tell men? Because I don't really get that as much anymore. But when they'd be like so persistent, because some men, if you're like, no, thank you, I have a man, they'll be cool, like, all right, have a good day. Those are my
hmm
favorite. Those are my favorites.
Right.
Then you have the
Right.
ones like you just said, Kayla, that'll be like, well, can I be your friend? And then, okay, so let's say we had to keep going back and forth, like, no, I don't need a friend, and blah, blah, blah. So then if they're still persistent, I'll say, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my man's number. You call him
Mm.
and you ask him, can you be my friend? And if he says yes, get my number from him and call me up. They'd be looking at me like, right.
What?
Like, what don't you get? Like, how many
Right.
times or how do I have to say it? Or I'd ask them, like, do you have a woman? Or no, if you had a woman, would you want her out there giving her number to random men? No, no. Well, why don't you respect my man and respect the fact that I told you I have one and stop
Because
asking
they
me for
don't
my
know your
number?
man and they trying to see how if they can get in, and they don't really want to take you serious either. They just want to get in
That's
there
very
because
true.
they felt like you was pretty, and then they want to go to the
And then
next
there's
female.
so many women that have husbands and men and they not really in a relationship. They kind of it's complicated. So they got to test the
I
hmm
had a
waters.
dude
Look, they
ask
got to
me,
test the waters
are
and
you
see if you're one
happy?
of them. Right.
I said, I'm
hmm
in a relationship. He said, yeah, but are you happy in your relationship?
It's like whether I'm happy or
What?
not
It's
doesn't mean that I want to be with you.
They'll be like, or are you married married? Like what's married married?
hmm
Ring
I think what they
fingers.
don't understand is that, I
Like
mean,
what?
and men too, you
Because
have
you think I
access
was
to
lying.
people. If you have access to people, like if you want to have a man or something like that, who can't get a man or a woman these days? I mean, you can, but it may not be exactly what it is that you want. But it's not because you don't, your phone is just completely dry. It's just that you choose, like, I know what it is that I'm looking for, and when it doesn't match up, I'm not going to waste my time with anything that's not, anyone rather, that's not, that I don't feel is even anything that I would consider. I can assure you, you're not going to get me on the telephone and get me to talking if I don't see something in you that I feel like it's worth me conversating with you. Because other than that, you're not going to get my phone number. Period.
I'm telling you,
And why would I
not at
give
all.
you my phone number? Because some of these dudes, they hit you up on social media, and I'm like, sir, I don't know you. We ain't
Hmm.
had two words. Or the most annoying kind is the ones that just randomly call you.
Oh,
Oh, I hate that.
on
Oh, you're gonna get
Facebook,
blocked.
that video
And
text you
Yes.
all of
Facebook.
a sudden, and you
Oh
like,
my
who? Wait
lord.
a minute, are you serious? Block?
I had somebody
Excuse
call me
you?
on Instagram at 3 o'clock in the morning.
They will. They'll see your light on and they will call you, and that's automatic block for me. They'll do it 4 o'clock. They don't care. I hate that. Every since, as y'all can see, I done got passionate.
Right.
Every
Look,
since
she's still feeling a type of way about it. You hear that in her
I
voice?
do, because when
It's
I
still
open
bothering her.
my social media to professional, I get it every day. It's some. So listen, for the ones that's in my inbox and y'all don't want absolutely nothing, please stop. Because what I do is I go and I click it because I don't like to have all the little numbers going. So I go and clear it out just in case it's somebody coming in for business or something for real. I want to make sure that it's not just where I can't see it.
Lost
So
in the
I'll clear it
sauce.
out. But I don't say hello or anything. I just, which on their end, it shows that, okay, she read it, but she didn't respond. Then they'll come back again. If I did not say hello when you done said hello to me 500 times, and then they'll be like, well, what's wrong? Okay. I if I wanted to say hello, I would.
Like,
And
take
half
the
the time
hint.
it be
If I'm not
scam.
responding,
It's
Girl,
like,
some of them
and it's
just
so
don't get it.
overwhelming.
Some of them just
But
and
don't
it's
then
get it.
overwhelming.
some of them get mad at you because you didn't respond, and then now you every word in the book, but the child of God,
Oh yeah, one guy said something to me kind of mean one day because he was asking me, and I just let him. He was totally not my type. He was way younger, and I just kind of let him know. And then he said a cuss word like "f you," and I'm saying to myself, and this is why I'm not responding to you because I can already tell that me and you, no. So like block.
Right. I had a dude come in my inbox tell me, he was like, "Hey, beautiful." I sent him my business stuff because when I get annoyed by people, I just start sending you my business stuff
Oh, I
and
told
ask
subscribe
you, which
one down.
services would you like today?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And he was
That's
like,
right.
"Oh, which service gets me in bed with you?" What,
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
You lost me
sir?
right there.
And see, like, what type of women are you dealing with where those type of lines work? And my thing, men, please, any men that are listening, this is a PSA. Okay, I'm gonna need you to switch your game up. You cannot use the same game with every woman you run across. Those little scallywags and trollops that you run that game on, you can't talk to a real woman like that because all you're gonna do is offend her. So I'm gonna need you to check the temperature of who you're dealing with and talk accordingly. Cause I hate that. Can I get you in bed? Like, are you? What type of woman do you think I am? That would be your
And
next
I
Right.
don't like the
response.
men that just automatically assume that you're like that because you put a certain song to a video or you wore something that showed a little something that day. Like, if you see that most of my videos are about women empowerment, most of my videos are about my business, 9 times out of 10, that means that woman is not going to fall for a line like that.
No.
Mm.
Like,
You
and
lost
then
out
plus
your
I
business.
already know what you want when you come in my inbox talking about, "Hi, beautiful. I
Right.
know you don't want my services. I know you don't want no lip gloss one because you a man and you know it unless you swing that way. I know you don't want want nothing from me, but trying to get my number.
Right.
So at that point in time, yes, I'm going to ignore you. If you wanted my services, you would say, "Hi, good morning. I saw on your page that you do this, this, and this. Can what's your prices? What does this look?"
Or I'd like
You
to
know
hear
that we
more about it or something.
Facebook and Instagram been around so long. We know every line in the book that you will try to use to get past that business part of things to get to me.
And it's old and redundant at this point.
Right.
I don't really
Dude,
want to
go
hear it.
ahead.
I'm going to need you to check the profile picture and see that it's a king in the picture and stay out my inbox, please.
And somebody said that could have been your cousin.
The way I'm all hugged up with him, that's my cousin, and it says in a
My point.
relationship with him tagged, because if you click that, you're going to see him and me there. So what? Come on
Right.
now.
I had a dude
And then
that
also,
liked the
you need to think
video.
about it. Like, do I want to entertain a man who
It's
don't
comfortable.
care that I'm on a picture with another man? Like, clearly,
Right.
you're not like, because that's showing right then. People
Desperation.
so good clues about themselves that it's like such a turnoff. I know recently, I mean, I'll just join a lot of little groups and things like that just to, stay active and show that I do a podcast. And it was one guy came into my DM, and it was kind of nice how he came in terms of what he said. So I was just like, okay, I chatted with him a little bit, and then it went left real quick.
Real quick. Yep. It
I'm talking
usually
about real quick,
does.
and I was just like, the nerve of you, because first of all, you should have looked down my page and you should have looked the stuff that I'm putting. I'm putting out content. You don't see no pictures of me showing off my body, got my booty to the picture. None of that's going on in my page. And then also we had like a little bit of a small conversation, and I literally told you, some things about myself. So you should have been able to judge me right there in terms of like what's gonna fly and what's not. He
Hmm.
had the audacity to say I was so we had changed numbers, and so I was kind of sleeping. He had called me, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I want to put you to bed." Okay, mister, you just
Oh
lost me.
no. See,
And then
block.
he was like, "Yeah, 'cause I want to see you in your sexy lingerie, baby." Bye.
Mm-mm.
Delete.
Wait a minute. Isn't that a part of a song?
I don't even
Probably.
know, but here's
Look,
the thing.
probably.
I'm
And
like,
just
I
in
know
case
he did not just use the song on it.
But here's the thing, and just in case they're listening, my thing of it was is that first of all, you wasn't what I normally go for, so you didn't have no room for error, and like you got to do everything. You got to really come with. And it was like that's your second day chatting with me, and you said something
Not
as
on day two.
You
Not
know,
yeah,
on
I'm
day
not
that's
with a
two.
the thing.
dude that
That's the turn off.
after a 5-minute conversation, you already want to have sex with me. That means that you don't
BS.
have no respect for yourself. You
No.
don't have sex
And
with
What
anyone.
about those men that come straight in, like hitting you up, like, "Hey, can you sit on my face?" Ew. Like, how
Oh
many
my God,
women?
I
How
had a
many women
dude.
have you asked that, and how many women have obliged you on that? Like, you're
No,
gross.
I
I'm
could get
good.
better than that. I had a dude that
that's
asked
a
me,
turn off.
that said, "Hey,
Right.
I'm so horny. Can you
Mm.
help me come? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but can you make me come?"
Oh yeah, I
I'm
have to be
sorry.
careful
I
when
don't
you
mean to be
certain words like
disrespectful. You
that.
know that was totally disrespectful.
YouTube won't play
You
us,
do
yeah.
that one.
Hmm?
It'll make our we won't get as many likes if we say certain words.
Like what?
But
What did I say?
um well, I can't say it. But if you say like the R word that ends with the E,
Oh,
they
I know
won't
you
do
can't
it.
say grape.
What? Okay, but it's just
Hmm.
certain words you can't say. You won't get as much likes or content. I mean, it won't let your stuff um get in the algorithm. So
They
yeah.
got so many rules now.
Yeah, they do.
It's
You can't say
annoying.
anything.
But
Right.
Todd, do you also put yours as not for kids?
I do.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, does anyone else have anything to add to the discussion?
I think I pretty much said all that I need to say. And for y'all little nasty boys out there that be trying to talk to me, I have a boyfriend. And I am happy. I am. Thank you.
And
sir.
for all of y'all that are in my inbox and trying to talk to me, I'm planning a wedding right now, so I'm gonna need you to just exit stage left. Thank you, and that's it.
Well, I am single, but for all of you guys that are in my inbox,
It's a
y'all
no
ain't waiting.
go.
Yeah, so I mean,
It's standards over here.
I'm
yeah,
trying to
chances
tell
are
you.
y'all practicing, so y'all may want to stay out my inbox. But I can tell you what you can do. Go ahead and hit subscribe on Talking with Todd, because
Hmm.
that's gonna be your best way to get to know me right there.
Yes.
Hmm.
And hit
That's
subscribe on Wake Up Girl with Kayla.
And
there you
hit
go.
subscribe with Tell Your Friends with Mikey.
I
Yes.
need y'all to like, share, comment, because those are some of the things that content creators really need you guys to do. Go out there and support, other content creators.
Let's just
If
support each
you like
other.
the
Let's
content,
right.
it's like if you like the content, support,
And it's
comment. If you
totally
know I need
free.
content all day for you, because it's like those are what helps you get into the groove. So yeah,
It's totally free to hit like
I'm talking
and
Yes.
about like.
subscribe.
And you don't have to wait till you get out of town to do it. Like I had one person, I was like, "Go, so she said, "Oh, I'm out of town right now, but when I get back, I'm thinking,
Well, what that
it's
mean? You got it
free."
What
at the
does you
house?
being
Is it
out of
at
town
the
have to
house on
do?
on the table? You got to go
Well, I
push
think
like
some
and
people don't
subscribe on the table.
understand. Some people, I'm gonna be honest with myself. Like I didn't really know it was as easy until I got into this. That I thought you had to go log into YouTube and do all that. No, if you ever watch anything on there, you just go to it, type it in, bam, it pull up, hit it. That's it.
That's
It's
all
so
you got to
simple.
do.
I
It's
mean,
simple.
it's like it's 3 clicks.
Hmm.
Click and move
Hmm.
on.
Click.
And go on and click that bell so that you get notifications when I go live.
Yes.
You better
Please
say it.
hit that bell.
Go on and click
It's
that
I'm
not that
talking.
bell.
hard.
It's not. 3 clicks and you out. 3 clicks and you done.
And as
I'm talking.
Todd said, you know where the subscribe button is. It's at the bottom, bright red, white
Bam.
I mean,
letters
like
that subscribe.
There
just
you
tap
go.
it. It just boop. That's all.
One
But
little
yeah.
Love,
motion.
kisses.
All
Well, I
right,
guess
guys.
we're gonna go on and close this out. We had a nice little build. Ladies, you
Yeah.
wanna drop all your info on them before we close it out?
So you can follow me on Facebook and TikTok as Ty Carter, on Instagram as Ivy Tot 10, on Instagram as Talking with Tot. So go out there and show my Instagram some love. Follow me.
And as for me, for Instagram and YouTube, well, for Instagram, you can find me as Wake Up Girl underscore with Kayla. On YouTube, you can just type in Wake Up Girl. And on Facebook, it is Kayla Love.
Okay, well, with me on YouTube and Spotify, it's Tell Your Friends with Mikey. On Instagram, it's Mikey underscore Lee's Holistic Hands. On TikTok, it's Mikey Lee's Holistic Hands. And on Facebook.
All right. All right, guys. Well, this ends our episode of Finding Our Voice. So, guys, we're going to put up a poll so y'all can just kind of throw out some things that y'all would like for us to discuss. And so, yeah, we're going to do that. Put a poll out and give us some topics, and then we'll get to it.
All right.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.